Yeah, welcome back. Meeting you after a long time. It's probably been a month or something. But anyway, we are back, and after this series, I want that you want to answer every single question in the Java interview. Yes or no? How's the energy? How's the energy? Everybody's excited. And anyway, I have a story that I'll tell you in 7 days. And eventually, what will happen once you will understand that story, your Java will be over. I really don't want to cover the things in a theoretical way, but I just want to cover the necessary things. Okay, the necessary things means whatever important for the interview purpose only. That is the purpose. Cracking an online exam or interview. So I was doing Java and Prepensta Prime. If I will do this or here, which one want to do? And as of now, I'll suggest that any of this 7 days I'll curate in such a way that you are placement ready. Okay, you're placement ready. That's what I want. Okay, that's what I want. But the thing is, yeah, how to read everybody's comment. Okay, cool, cool, Kurvi, cool, Sri Hari. In C and C++, right now I can't say, but I'll wait for the team to respond. Okay, then we'll begin. Huh? But anyway, today it's a day one. But what is important in this thing is that at the last of the series, at the end, you'll get this thing: interview cheat sheet, last day, and we'll do further practices and other things. Today we'll do what is basics of programming and the Java basics. Okay, including multiple topics that I'll tell you in the another slide. And also after this series, you can confidently say that you know the concept of Java in a really funny way, or probably the every answer, right? You're really confident. So again, today day one. In day one, we will cover what are the translator, programming language, JDK, JRE, JVM, installation, setup. You have a choice, whatever you want to use, IntelliJ, BS Code, or Eclipse, anything. Okay, that works for me, anything. Again, we'll do a first basic code also. We'll understand multiple things within it, and then we'll understand the naming convention, typecasting, input output, means scanner class, and comments. These topics we're going to do today in the class. But trust me, when I teach now, you will have something new. You will have something new, definitely. Let's come to the programming language. Yeah, just simply somebody ask you, I want to talk to you something, and not to your classmate. Just people do this thing, I want to talk to you something in some other way, but let it be, right? But whenever we want to talk to somebody, we need a language, right? We need a medium by which we can talk. So that's basically a programming language. So if I ask you, here is a computer. Okay, here is a computer. Story begins now. Story begins. So there is a person. Which person we should take? Whose name we should take? Tell me in the chat. Whose name? Probably Ayush. What everybody says. So this is Ayush. Okay, this is Ayush. And tell me, other guy, how Ayush looks like. So this is Ayush. Right now, Ayush is trying to talk one person in his class. In that case, he'll say, probably he'll speak in English, Hindi, or in any other language, right? But the thing is, that time he knows the language, right? Both of them knows the language. But now I just want to talk to this computer. I just say this computer to, hey computer, do this thing. And now computer bounce back. क्या मजाक कर रहे हो भाई? I do not understand what you say. Right, that's the thing. Computer won't respond because computer don't understand. So for telling something, for giving instructions to the computer, we need a language. That's a programming language simply, right? That's a programming language simply. But to talking to our friend, because both of us know the English, that's possible, English or Hindi, Kannada, anything, right? That is possible that we can communicate easily. But when this comes to computer do not understand English directly, right? That is the thing. Computer do not understand. What computer understand is the current. And now you will say, sir, what kind of current? Should I plug a charger and give it a bolt? Some level of current. That is true only. You put you connect a charger and you give a current. And current can be, you can turn on or turn off. Two things you can do. With the switch, what you can do? Turn on or turn off, right? This thing you can do. I'm just telling you the basic thing. Probably sometimes when there are aged person takes an interview, they ask these simple things. I've seen multiple times. And I'm telling you by experience. Multiple of students of mine are working in multiple companies, including Google and also Linux and other things as well. High voltage and low voltage, that is another thing. But anyway, the thing is that either you can do a current in or current out, right? Otherwise, you're giving a current or not. So it can be 0 or 1. So if I say that when the switch is off, we can say like it's a 0. When switch is on, it's a 1. So that's what computer understand because it's an electronic device, right? So that's what understand. So this means that if Ayush want to say something to computer, this is only possible in one way, which is 0 and 1. So what at starting people did is that, let's say assuming the time of 1950, when people want to communicate with the computer but they didn't had a choice, so they started writing a binary language. So binary language, we call it machine language also. Binary language, or we call it machine also, machine language, machine level language. Okay, machine level language also we call it machine level language. Now the thing is this was 0 and 1 only. But now Ayush is really happy. Now Ayush comes to me like says, sir, now computer understands what I say. Okay, computer understands what I say. So I was also okay, happy. Now go ahead and type a essay or something, give a command. But now when Ayush want to write a longer program, now the thing is, tell me, yeah, is it interactive? You guys can ask me the multiple things. Huh? Very soon we'll move to the Java in very detail, and you will have lots of learning. Right now, just want to give you a brief, something how coding evolved and how we come to Java. Right? That's what I want to tell you. So now when this thing was from 0 to 1, Ayush was writing lengthier code. So let's assuming you have a code, you have written an essay, you've done particular task, you have 10,000 line of code, and somewhere you miss the 0. It's difficult to find where you miss the 0. Let's say this is a code 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 0, something like this. So it's a hard to find the mistakes, means debugging was really tough. It was super complex. So now Ayush was taking like, oh, we have to figure out a plan, we have to do something. So what Ayush thought like, can we have something else? So now it generated another language, we call it assembly. I'll tell you the detailed story. Huh? Just hardly will take 2 minutes on this, and then we'll move to the Java directly. So now here assembly language came in picture. Assembly language came in picture. Basically what the thing is, here we add some mnemonics. So basically let's say I'm doing one thing, I'm adding two numbers, let's say 1 1 and 1 0. So here I was adding this thing, 1 0 becomes this thing 1, and again this 1 1 becomes 0, and this thing, this will be the sum of this. Okay, so now here we do not know what operation is happening. In assembly we added some mnemonics, and with this mnemonics like some English word, okay, some English word we added in this. So let's say I've written here add. So which means that now as a programmer, I will know that what I have done here, right? What I have done here, it will easy to me to understand the things. You're getting my point? It will easy to me to understand, right, what's happening in my code. So it was easy, but not, the problem was not completely solved. Still it was difficult. If you have 1,000 line of code and you are doing multiple operations, because you can't do the mathematical operations only, right? You need multiple instructions to do. You want to do multiple operations, right? So assembly also was not solving that problem. Then it comes to the high level language. What? It comes to the high level language. High level language. Now the thing is, okay, what is high level language? So it was English only. Okay, it was English. Right? Most of the lines were pure English. So when this comes to English, now we have a common platform because English we know. So whatever we are writing, we can easily understand. It's easier to program and to write the code now. Tell me Ayush, and other guys also, Krubi, Sri Hari, tell me. Now after high level language, what problem has solved? Everybody tell me please. I just want to hear. After high level language, what problem has solved? Tell me, what was the problem that we were facing, and after high level language, what problem has solved? Right, the answer is because now it's easier for human to write the code, right? It's easier for human to debug the code, finding the error, it becomes super easy. But there was also one challenge. Okay, which is fine, that now high level language I can write the English, but again another challenge, how computer will understand. I was thinking like I can add a mnemonics like English keyword, but how computer will understand? So there were translator were translating one language to another. That I want what? Correct. Communication becomes easy, right? So now how they will, with the help of translators, not compiler directly, translators. So with the help of translator, assembly and high level languages both were easily understood by the computer. So thereby for assembly language, there was assembler as a translator. For assembly language, this was assembler. Okay, assembler for assembly, and again two compilers for high level languages, interpreter and compiler all together. So the thing is, for the interpreter, I'll just erase few things here by which we have more space. So now here we have two things for high level languages. One is interpreter, just in 1 minute, huh? Hardly for this. One is interpreter and another is compiler. Because I know many of you already aware about these things, right? And that's why I think that we should not take a lot of time here. Correct. So now here, Deepak is asking, is this course for 7 days only? No, no, it will be available forever. But the thing is, I'll cover in 7 days. So you will have complete Java preparation in 7 days. That is the thing for the placement purpose. Huh? So now here, interpreter basically this interprets or this translate code line by line. Okay, line by line, and this will do in one go. Let's say you have 10,000 line of code, so it will compile all together, and this will do line by line. So if in between there is an error for interpreter, it will stop there on that particular line and will ask you to fix it. Only then it will execute. While compiler will give you all the list all together in one go. Let's say there is a error number 500 lines, 600 lines, 700 lines or something. All these things will keep coming. You're getting my point? So somebody maybe in interview somebody can ask you what is the difference between interpreter and compiler. I heard multiple times especially in the on-campus placements. Okay. So now the thing is, what is Java? So Java is also a high-level programming language. Okay, this is general purpose high-level programming language. So how things came in Java? Before I move on these things, I just want to give you a brief about Java, that how Java came in picture. Okay, there is also another good story. Now this is a story of Sasank. Sasank, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That is possible. Here there is another story. Okay, how Java come? What is Java? So Java is a high-level programming language, which means that mostly code that I will write, that will be in what? That will be in English. So now I is very happy. Even Sasank is very happy. Sriyar is very happy, right? Very good evening, Arif. So now everybody is saying like, okay, I'll write in English and computer will understand. Okay, so let's write the code. Okay. So the thing is how this thing started, how Java came. So the thing is in 1991, okay, the company was Sun Microsystem. The company was Sun Microsystem. This company basically, they told a group of engineers. So the group of like James Gosling including, and again the group of engineers led by James Gosling. The thing is, they were saying like, create a language which can be embedded with the electronic devices or basic electronic appliances. Okay, so they created the thing that was Java. So initially there was multiple thing, 3-4 engineers were there, but James Gosling took the multiple credit because anyhow he was leading the project, right? The entire project was led by him. So the thing is, now when Java came now, they thought like we should give a funny name. Anyhow, what happens when I was as a backend developer, and that time we had a team, and always we try to give a unique name to our team, right? So what they did is that they gave a name to their team who was creating the Java. So they have given a name called Green Team. Okay, Green Team. Okay, so now here the thing is, now the Java language, initially it was a green team, and basically now they was thinking like, okay, what green team will create? Group of creative people. So they said like, okay, we'll give this name as Green Talk because we are creating it. So we'll give a name. So they given a name as Green Talk. Green Talk. So now finally the language name was Green Talk. It's happening from 1991. Okay. So now because this was a Green Talk, so they given an extension. You remember if you have a like txt file or you have docs file, so at then you have .txt or .docs. Similarly, right now, what they have given is that what Java file, what is your LinkedIn profile name? Gaurav Pandey you search. Gaurav Pandey mentor you search, you'll connect with me. Huh? Gaurav Pandey mentor you'll search, you'll find me. Okay, so now it was a Green Talk. Okay, Green Talk. So the extension name, the first extension name they had given, that was .gt. And that's why saying, I used to saying .java. And that's why I said now multiple things I will tell you, probably that will help you to crack the interview. What if your interviewer asks you the things? So the first extension for the Java language was .gt because the name was the Green Talk. But they were thinking like, yeah, it's not sounds professionally, so we should give a professional name. So finally the team come with the solution which was Oak. Why they have given the name Oak to the language? Because Oak was a I guess holy tree in multiple regions of that time, like in multiple places where they were belong, right? So that, and the thing is, because of that holy tree name, the Oak, they have given a Oak name to the Green Talk. So now it's a no more Green Talk. It's what? It's a Oak now. So it's now not Green Talk, it's a Oak now. But the problem was, no, they cannot have this name. That time Oak technology was registered a trademark. So now the another problem is, that yeah, I wanted to give really a name, but I can't give. Why? Because this is already registered, right? So now yeah, James Gosling came and thought like yeah, now what to do, what to do. So he was like drinking a coffee nearby his office, and he was thinking like, okay, where coffee was invented. So in Indonesia, there is a Java island. Okay, there is a Java island in Indonesia. So based on this particular thing, Java island, first coffee beans was produced on this island. First coffee beans was produced in this particular island. So that's how while drinking a coffee, he named it in 1995 to Java. 1995 in to Java. And now after when the name came to Java, then they put the extension dot Java. So now finally the extension will also come as Java. Understood? Understood? Correct. Java Island. That is the thing. Understood? Sri Hari. Compiler or interpreter, which one is used in Java, sir? I'll tell you. So Java uses both. I'll tell you the reason why is this. Okay, I'll tell you the reason. And that story lives in these three topics. That story lives here. Okay. So now finally Java came in picture. Okay, Java came in picture. In 1996, they launched it publicly, but how everybody will use it? Okay, how everybody will. Right now, it's owned by the Oracle. Okay, previously it was Sun Microsystem, but now it's owned by the Oracle. So here, the thing is how everybody else in the world will globally use it. So they launched the JDK. JDK. Now, what the thing is this? On 23 January, on 23 January 1996, they launched JDK. So now JDK is publicly available. Everybody can access this, and they can write their Java application for where they can write desktop applications, complex applications, or in the multiple electronic devices they can use it. Right now you use Android, there we have used Java. You use Windows, there we have used Java. Multiple places are using Java. Oracle, multiple times they use, I guess almost every time probably they use Java, right? So that's how Java has a broader scope. But what does it mean by JDK? Now here we comes in picture, and then I will tell you what Java does use, compiler or interpreter or both. If yes both, then why? Okay, that is the, and now that I will tell you. So what is JDK? So here is circle that I'm going to tell you. I hope this is visual, and I call it JDK, Java Development Kit. So what is this basically? You've seen the doctor, na? You've seen the doctor. When doctor visit a particular patient, so what is having is he's having a kit where he will have multiple things, right? All those things are required to treat that particular patient, right? So that's how that. So if you want to work with a Java, you want to create a Java application, what you need? You need Java Development Kit, which is basically JDK. What it is? Java Development Kit. So basically this is responsible by which only you can create what? You can create complete Java application, you can run Java application, right? So within this JDK, we had multiple things. One thing was JRE. So within JDK, we have JRE. Okay, we have JRE. Along with this, you have compiler. So now few people will say, sir, okay, so Java use compiler to translate the code. So I'll say wait for a second. Huh? I'll tell you. Okay, all tools are required to correct. All tools, whatever required, now they are all within the particular JDK. Within JRE, we had something else. What we have here? Here you have JVM. Here you have JVM. Here you have compiler and tools. Multiple tools required for your Java application. JVM plus libraries. So those don't know what is the library, like this is something like where you have pre-written code and you can use the functionality from there. Okay, similarly like China is using a fast building base, so they have already created the component. Now they import from there and they fastly create the buildings, right? Rapidly they create the buildings. So similarly you have libraries where all the functionality already written, you can access them, you can use it without writing the code a lot, right? So that probably saves the time and also one of the optimized way you get directly from the Java support, right? So here what is JVM now? JRE we know, Java runtime environment, which is responsible for running your Java code. Okay, which is responsible. JDK, entire group of tools, including JRE and what? I can't hear. And what? Along with JDK plus compilers and other tools. Within JDK, we have JRE, Java Runtime Environment. And in this Java Runtime Environment, we have what? JVM plus libraries, right? So JRE is responsible for running the code, right? Entire thing, library and JVM, both comes within JRE. Now what is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. Okay, Java Virtual Machine. So this JRE was Java runtime environment, write by yourself. I don't have a space here. And JVM, Java virtual machine. So Java virtual machine is an amazing concept. Because of this only, Java H, can execute on any system. Because multiple system, probably every system is having this JVM, Java virtual machine, and this is an interpreter. This works like an interpreter. So it interprets code by one. Interpret code by one. But why? Basically, this compiler will convert your entire Java code into a byte file, into a byte code. Okay, we call it byte file, or it will convert into a byte code. So byte code is something code which is lightweight, which is not heavy, because Java code, the Java file can be heavier. But yeah, very important thing, people can ask you what is byte code. Trust me, in interview they can ask you, or probably in the assessment also, in the exams also, online assessment, you can get what is byte code, right? What compiler produce? So that produce a byte code. So byte code basically lightweight code. What is it? It's a lightweight code that can be executed by JVM, which makes it a platform independent, which means that if I'm creating a particular application Windows, that I can easily run on Android, I can easily run on Mac, I can run anywhere wherever the JVM is available. Make sense? Tell me, make sense? Yes or no? Make sense? Right? That is not an English. That is not an English, but that's a byte code. That's a byte code, not human readable directly, but that's a byte code. Right? So now here the thing is, now we know JDK entire tool. Within JDK we have JRE plus compiler and tools. Within JRE, within Java runtime environment, we have JVM plus library. JVM is responsible for executing the byte code. So basically what eventually will happen, if you have a Java application, first it will be compiled by compiler, then you have bytecode, then it will be interpreted, right, by the interpreter, and then it will finally execute. Okay, and because of this feature we call it Bora principle. Okay, write once, run anytime. Write once, run anywhere. You're getting Bora principle. We call it, what is Bora principle? So W-O-R-A, Bora principle. Write once, run anywhere. Why? Who is man responsible for the Bora principle in Java? If somebody asks you, what you'll say? Because of JVM, right? So we have JDK like compiles, within JDK we have compiler that will convert my Java code to bytecode, and every device is having JVM, so it will be directly interpreted by the JVM and we can execute it. And that's why Java is platform independent. Java is platform independent. Correct? Make sense? Correct, Sri Hari. JDK to JRE, JRE to JVM. Now you're getting the story. How's the story? Right? How's the story from 1991 to now? You know how everything works and how everything works. Now another thing, we know probably most of the things about Java. We know the use case that if I know Java, I can write Windows applications. I can create the multiple desktop applications. Again, we can create the websites also, apps also, multiple things we can do probably in the world, right? And we can create the application for the digital devices, right? So all this is all what we can do. But now the thing is, how will you start working? So now everybody knows that if I want to write the code in Java, I need two things. What are the two things? One is JDK. Another thing is what? An IDE, integrated development environment. Sir, you people can have a choice. Probably, I use VS Code for multiple things. That's why I haven't installed. But for basically Java, multiple people uses IntelliJ. Okay, but I've already installed VS Code, so I'll use same here. So we are missing lead code series. Kirti, I also wanted to continue that series. Anyhow, that was amazing series to crack any company's interview. But unfortunately, we didn't had that level of support where I could put the time, and management stopped it suddenly, right? But anyway, if every day everybody like are showing that much of interest, and you can convince the management within your chats or in any other way, they can start here. But without the permission, I can't. Because I was expecting they're good people, good level of interaction by which you can have really a good amazing careers. But anyway, here we can do this in Java, right? So I want that whatever the series is running, this should complete with complete and unique content, right? Based on the current industry trend, what people ask. Correct. So we need two things. One is JDK, second is IDE. Here JDK, where you'll install, go to the Google, search for the JDK, there you'll install. Right now do not start installing. After the class you can install it. Okay, but I'll just somewhere show you. I have just opened the VS Code here, and if I have Google here somewhere. Here I have this thing, and here you go now. You search for JDK download. Okay, JDK download. Either you have Windows, Mac, anything. Go there from the Oracle. That's the official website for it. Go download it. Download the JDK, install it, and then install your BS code or something, and you'll be working on there. Okay, you'll be working on there. After once this is installed now, go to the VS code or anything or terminal, type java hyphen version, you'll get the version. If you're getting the version, which means Java is already installed. Okay, Java is already installed. I hope, yeah, this is making sense to everybody, right? Because I do not want to put a lot of time on the installing. That may take a time based on the internet and other things, right? But you know already how to install it, right? So that won't be a very big problem for you. So install JDK and an ID. Along that, you can start working on this particular thing. Is it making sense to everybody? Tell me. I want to hear the energy here. So far, we have heard two different stories. That how people started the programming, how from machine code to high level language we come, right? How interpreter and compiler worked, and how James Gosling and the people created Java from green talk to oak to Java. A good story, right? A good story. Now we'll write our first program, which is hello world, or we'll understand the code structure. I'll write first here, then we'll go to our BS code, and we'll write there itself, and I'll tell you the complete meaning of it. Okay, what it is and how it works. So yeah, right now what I want is that do not focus on everything which I mentioned here in this particular code. Understand few things. Right? Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll have that level of grasping knowledge that easily you'll understand everything. Okay, because today I'll write, and that is basic template I have to write for Java code. But you may not understand 100% from the template, because there are multiple concepts. Those concepts will come in third language, like third number video or fourth number, right? So that can be possibility. Right now, what is important to understand, that only you will be focusing on. Okay, so you don't worry about. So this lecture is available on YouTube. After this will be available. Okay, after this will be available. Don't worry, Anuja, it will be available. Okay, Ajay. Cool, Sri Hari. So now here, what I'll do is now I'll just write a simple code. So let's say right here class. Why? Because Java is object oriented. If you're not getting right now, it's okay. If you're not getting right now, what is object oriented? Let it be. Time will come. Oops, lectures are there. I'll cover, I'll tell you why Java is object oriented. Right now, let it be. यार मैंने सुना ही नहीं in that way. मैं तो जानता ही नहीं, मासूम बच्चा. In that way. Okay. So now here we have class. You give a class name. So remember, class name can be something, a noun, but that should not be already available in Java, because that will be a conflict. So here you put anything. Let's say I create a class, hello world. Also remember one thing, whenever you give a class name, always give in Pascal case. Pascal case means every word will have first letter as capital. Look at hello, one word, H is capital, world, W is capital. So Pascal case. So hello world, again you need a man method to execute. But yeah, remember, if you're not understanding this now, let it be. I'm telling you, time will come when you'll understand this line. Right now you just understand what I'll tell you to understand. Okay, but I'll write the complete template here. So here I need one, man method, public static void man. Okay, here I'll write a string args, and then after this I'll open a curly braces, I'll close it, and I'll close it. Right now here, if you do not understand this, let it be. You do not understand class, let it be. You don't understand public static void man, let it be. I'm just telling you simple thing, that time will come when you will understand the meaning of all these three words. But what is method here? So remember, method is something only because of this man method, this man thing, your JVM will be able to execute your code. So you just understand simple one thing as of now, that whatever you will write within this particular template, that will execute. Just simple thing. Do not put lots of effort. Do not put lots of brain. Okay, just simple thing, that whatever you will write within this template, that will execute. That's what I want from everybody. Right now I don't want that you should focus on a string. What is string, args, what is this? I don't know. Probably simply just say I don't know. Time will come after 3 or 4 lecture, you will understand. Okay, perfect. So the thing is, this is basic Java template. here whatever you will write within this, that will execute. Simple, not a brain, right? Not a brainy question, right? Simple thing. So we'll go here, and this is what you need to remember, that this is a class name. But what is class? Time will come. Time will come, you'll understand. Okay. We'll go to the BS code, and here I want to tell you a few things about it. Okay, so probably we'll write something, or we'll create our hello world program, the first program, how we'll print it. So somewhere I have BS code here. If you want to create a Java file, you have to write first class name. So class name, let's say I want to write hello world. Hello world. Now somebody say like, sir, who invented this hello world? Yeah, just people write it just to here .java. So here, whenever you create a Java file, you have to write .java. You have to write what? You have to write .java. And here I'll write my class name. So whatever your file name, that will be the class name. Always remember, whatever the file name, that will be a class name. So here class, I'll write hello world. Okay, and here I'll write public static void main. So here, this is the basic template we have written. Now if you want to print something, so there is a one statement which you have to remember as of now, but not forever. Not forever. Time will come when you will know exact reason why we are writing even a single decimal point. Time will come. Okay, so now here if you want to write something now, here you write system.out.println, system.out.println, you write south, hit enter, it will automatically come. So here south, whatever you will write within this, that will be printed. So let's say I write here hello world. No, I'll write something else. So I'll write here, let's say, hi prepsters. I hope I've written correctly. Yes. So now I want to execute. You guys were asking like it uses compiler or interpreter. I'll show you now. Time came. Java C is a compiler, basically a Java compiler which will convert it into a bytecode. I'll show you how this looks like. So I have file here hello world.java. After Java C, write the file name .java, and you'll see, look at this, another file automatically generated. But how? Tell me na, how this came? Because this is a bytecode. You remember when I told you Java is compiled by the compiler, then a bytecode will be generated. So this is a bytecode, not for our use. This is for the JVM. But now JVM will execute it by the interpreter. So here you write Java, that is a Java interpreter, and here you write the file, the class name, basically hello world. That's it. And you hit enter, this will execute. It's saying hello prepsters. Do you want to say hi to computer? Right now we are able to interact with the computer. We are writing some code. Congratulations everybody. Right. So that's how we work with a normal hello world syntax. So here what you have to remember, this will be a class name, and within this man method, whatever we'll write, that will execute as of now. Time will come when you'll understand everything. Okay, so I'll go back here. We understood this thing. Now here, also in comment, I want to hear every doubt, which I will address in the next class. Okay, means I'll address in the next class. So I want all the doubts in chat. Those will watch this recording, not in the live. In live, you can ask the doubt. I'll address here only. Now the thing is, here another topic is data types and variable. Here, whenever you work with a language, you're solving any problem, right? If you're creating a banking application, you're working with numbers. Anyway, a good number, right? Because money is a good number for everybody. Yes or no? Again, if you're working with the desktop applications and something is creating, you're working with data. So if you're working with data, you have to tell computer what kind of data you're using, right? You want to perform operation. So for that purpose, we have data types. So data types are something which define the type of data. Defines what? They define the type of data. Type of what? Tell me. Type of data. Correct? No, containers will be the variables. I'll tell you the thing, but here define the type of data. Correct? So now here where we will store the data. If somebody asks you where you will store the sweets. Let's say Rasgulla. How many of you like Rasgulla? Probably I like. I don't know about you, but I guess many of you. Right? Golgappe. So where you will put it, right? Where you put that data. So for that purpose, we need containers. Right? Containers. And these containers are the variables. So in a computer, basically you have multiple memory. And in this memory, you have multiple blocks. Millions of blocks are available. So if somebody asks you that you have these multiple containers, and somewhere you randomly thrown the data. Somewhere what you've done? Somewhere randomly you thrown the data. Now data is available in somewhere in the block. Data is available somewhere in the block. How will you find it? How will you find it? So you need to give a name to it. You need to give a name to it. So let's say I stored somewhere 5, but how will I know where the 5 is available? How I will retrieve it? How will I get it back? Right? And you have added it, which is fine. For that purpose, we need variables name. We need variables name, means that the name of these containers. What we need? The name of these containers, means variable names we need. So these containers have the variables and they will have a name to retrieve the data, to access the data from the memory. Making sense to everybody now? Making sense to everybody? Tell me. Correct? Yeah, identifier I use na. Identifier can be the name of the class, can be the name of the variable. Right? So all these are identifiers. We can say the name of the variable is also identifier. Okay? So that container is the variable itself. The name can be an identifier which will identify. So we need a name of the variable. Name of the variable. So let's say I have variable A where I have stored the value 5. Right? So now I know where this particular thing is stored. So particular this block is having a name as A. Having a name as A. But what kind of data it is? That's what the data type you will define. What kind of data it is which you're trying to store in the memory. So that we define the data type. So data type basically, I'll say you have majorly 3 to 4 data type. One is numbers. Not directly, I'll tell you. Do not start like, sir, you're wrong. Okay, I'll just tell you, just wait, yeah, just wait. So you have numbers, especially the integer type. Okay, integer. Again, you have the floating point numbers, means the decimal numbers. Decimals. Another you have characters, and then you have the boolean. Okay, you have the boolean also, means true and false. These things true and false. So here the numbers, these numbers are divided. If I ask the numbers means the integers. When I talk about numbers, I talk about integers. So these integers are having 4 category. Integers are having 4 category. Okay, what category? Here you have byte, here you have short, here you have int, here you have long. These 4 category you have. But the thing is, why? If like in byte also I can store the number, in short also I can store the number, in int also I can store the number, in long also. Why I have these 4 data types? That is the problem. Because of their size. The answer is because of their size. Here you can store the data from -128 to 127, which basically takes 8 bit of space. 8 bit of space. How much space? 8 bit. Very less. 8 bit of space. But what if you want to store 130? Where will you store? Now byte is incapable. Then you need sort. Sort will basically store -32,762 plus 32,767. This range. What if I want to store 40,000? Right, I'll tell you. And this takes the space of 16 bit. This was taking 8 bit, this was taking 16 bit. Now the thing is, what if I want to store 40,000? I need something else, that is integer, and this will take 32 bit. Right? Now how will you store 32 bits? So that is the range of where you will store the value of to the power -31 to the power 31 minus 1. This range. Very large range. But what if you want to store beyond this limit? You need long. What do you need? You need long, which will take the space of 64 bit. Making sense to everybody? Tell me, making sense to everybody? Why we need all? Now somebody will say, sir, every time I will use long, why would I need white sort int? Yeah, I'll ask you the simple question. If you want to drink the water, will you have a drum? Right? Will you have a complete bucket? No, because that takes more space. That takes simply the more space, not comfortable to use. Right? If you want to optimize the memory, you want to optimize the thing, you need the thing which is necessary. Right? For drinking the water, I will not drink with drum or a bucket, let's say. Not now, right? Obviously no. So the thing is, for every type of data, if you want to store smaller data, we'll use the smaller data type. Why? That will save the memory. Simple. That save the memory, and memory is everything. That will save the memory. So here 64-bit, and here we can store minus to the power, like to the power minus 63 to the power 63 minus 1. This range is possible. This range is possible for this thing, and which is probably very bigger number. Very bigger number. Understood? Making sense to everybody? Tell me. Making sense to everybody? 1 byte equal to 8 bit that I've written here, okay? That I've written here. Somewhere I'll erase this now, which I have more place to write. I'll erase something here, and I will have probably more space. And you guys, if you want notes, you can take the screenshots. Probably that will help you a lot. Okay, you can take the screenshot. But anyhow, at the end there is a quiz and few important questions that we'll cover. Okay, now comes to the another thing. We had another category that was the decimal. So this also in two category, float and double. The thing is, this will take 32-bit and this will take 64-bit. Okay, means 8 byte. 1 byte is equals to 8 bits, so you divide it. You will have in byte also. Now here you can store up to 6 to 7 decimal places. 6 to 7 decimal places. And here you can store up to 15 to 16 decimal places. Understood? So wherever you're working with transactions, let's say banking system or something, there you need really the decimal numbers matters a lot, right? Anyway, they matters a lot. In that case, you use double. So by default, people use double, but if you know that the number can be limited up to 6 decimal places, go for float, because that takes limited memory, which is 32-bit, and this is 64-bit, almost twice, right? Not almost, it's a completely twice. Now the another data type was character. Means character what? Tell me. And all these things I told you, these are the primitive data type. I'll tell you what the meaning of this. So here character. So for that we have char, means if I want to store A, B, C or something, you have to use single quote. Let's say I want to store A, I want to store B. So in that case, that is character. Another is boolean, and you'll use bool for this boolean, and boolean is basically true or false. That is the thing with the boolean. So these were the primitive data type. Integers, decimals, characters, and boolean. These were the primitive data type, which means default they are available. By default they are available. But now comes to the non-primitive data type. The thing is, we can store only one value as of now. What if I want multiple values? Right? What if I want multiple value? So those called non-primitive data type. That will cover some other day, right? Non-primitive, where you want multiple value altogether. So what you will use? Non-primitive. Var here with the var. I haven't used var. Var in JavaScript used to declare the variables I use. Okay. Here in Java we don't have var anything. Okay. So now here this is non-primitive. Non-primitive means array, strings. What is a string? The whole entire name. Let's say hello in double quotes, that's a string. Okay, we will have collections. So all those are non-primitive. Array, strings, classes, interfaces. Time will come when we learn about all of these things. Okay, so those will be non-primitive. Array. Okay, we will have interfaces, classes, all these things that we'll learn in the future lectures. I hope this is making sense to everybody. What is primitive data type? Why we need integers of different category? Remember, very important point, decimals and character and boolean. We'll go rapidly. And we'll write all these data types in our VS Code, right? And then we'll move to the naming conventions. But I guess I should cover this naming convention. Then we'll do a practical. Okay. Then we will do the practical. How many of you linked list also non-primitive? Bandhana, that comes in the collection. That's linked list also non-primitive. Okay, user defined. That's a user defined non-primitive. Yeah, how it sounds to you after covering this naming convention? Naming a convention means that how you can give a name to it. How will you give name to a class name, to interface, to variable or something? Okay, so that is a naming convention. Basically for class, an interface. Right now you don't know what is interface. Time will come when I'll teach you. When I will teach you the oops now, I'll teach you the interface and class, both the things. Here you need to follow the Pascal case. Pascal case basically says that first letter of the word will be capital. Okay, my example I'll put it here, which is, let's say, hello world. So hello world. Here the thing is you're having H is capital, W is capital. For class and interface, you will put the Pascal case. Again for variables and methods, you'll put the camel case. Camel case means the first letter of the entire word will be smaller, all other word will have first letter as capital. So let's say if I want to write hello world here, I'll write hello, then I'll write capital W here and world. So now what you see, the first starting letter will be smaller. Okay, it's a camel case. Now the thing is, you cannot have a space. You cannot have a space between the variable name or anything, right? Can't have space in between the characters. Okay, you understood now? You can't have a space. You can't have a special character at starting. Okay, underscore you can have, right? Can't have a special character like at the right has something special character, but you can have underscore. If you want to connect the multiple word now, you can have underscore, but you can use underscore. Okay, so the thing is also you cannot start your variable name or class name with number. Variable name can never be start with number. It cannot be start with number. Okay, so you have to remember, can't start with number. So these are the few common things which you need to remember while creating or declaring a variable or something. So these are the common thing. Okay, and then the typecasting, then I'll go here and I'll tell you, I'll come back again to this topic, but after doing this practical. Okay, after doing this practical. Sounds good na? Sounds good? Tell me. Ayush, other thing. Bandana, Ayush, other people. Now we'll do that practical. Okay, here let's say I'll create another file and I'll give a name to it. Let's say data type. So what I'm doing, D my capital, right? That's a class name and data types. So .java is important here. So created, I'll write public static void man, because of templates automatically coming. And here now I want to declare few things. Okay, so I want to store the byte. So I will have, let's say, byte A I have written here, and I want to store 5. Will easily stored. Semicolon is required at the end of every statement, by which your compiler will understand it's the end of line. Okay, it's the end of line, otherwise you will have the error. Semicolon is very important at the end of your line. Perfect. Here I have byte, and here I have sort. Let's say I write here B, and I'm writing here, let's say, 400. Okay, then I'm writing here let's say int, and I'm writing C here. I'm writing probably a big number you can write. Let's say I'm writing 40,000 or something. Okay, and again I'm writing long here. So long D is equals to, I'm trying to write something probably very large here, which is for long you need to put a capital L at the end, by which your computer will recognize it's a long number or not. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you put, but at the end you have to put this capital L. This is for your computer reference only. Your computer will understand this is a long type. Okay, so you have to specify this. Okay, correct. This was the termination of line. So now another thing. So these were the integer types. Okay, so I'll put it here. So here this is comment. Basically comment is a line which computer will not read. Okay, a compiler and interpreter will not translate it. That's the comment, and people use it for giving some references by which future developer will understand. Okay, so that's why we use the comment here. So I'll write here integers. So these are the integers. I'll print it here. I told you that you can use this system.out.println for printing purpose, right? And here I want to print A, and the same other things also. Okay, the other things also. So what I'll do now, I'll just paste it here 4 times, and I will have all these things. I'll put B, I'll put C, okay, I'll put D. So here I'll come back again, I'll write Java C, and here I'll write data types. Okay, now look at this. One class file has been created, and now I can execute with Java, then the file name data types. Okay, you can have this play button also to execute your code, but I'm just trying to show you that it utilizes both compiler and interpreter also. And I hope this is making sense to everybody. Look at this. Whatever we have given, it's printed now. Right, so we had these variables here along with the data type, and now we are able to print it. But what about if I want to declare, let's say I want to use uh, like float decimal thing, right? So here I'll write for decimals. Let's say I have a float. Okay, so here I'll use float. Let's say E I have, and I'll write 1.567. Right, so this time for float you have to write a small f at the end, by which your computer recognizes. For two things you remember, huh? Long and float. You have to remember. And long capital L at the end, and for float small f at the end. Okay. Now here you have double, which is by default you'll write no, that there is no problem. So here if I write 56 or for anything 0.908, something like this. So that's fine. That's fine. This works. Okay. So here I'll print them. So I'll just copy these two. Huh? I'm just a little lazy. So for writing the code by myself, and here I'll write E and F. I'll execute it again. So whenever you do any changes, you have to compile it again, then you have to execute. Why? Because bytecode only executes, na? Before compilation, you won't get the bytecode. Look at this, we're getting this particular thing, right? But what if I try to store here 90 da. In this case, what will happen? Let's see. So here, I haven't compiled. I'll compile it, then I'll execute it. Here you can have a chance of data loss. Look at this. This thing we are not having completely. We are not having all the data, right? We are getting till the 7 decimal points. After that, it's a missing. Right? After that, it's a missing. So people can ask you, that will produce an error, or you will have only 6 or 7 characters. So you'll say you'll have 7 digits only. You won't have an error. Okay? You will have a data loss. What you will have? You have a data loss. You will have data loss. That is the thing. Now comes to the another thing. Now what we have? We have characters. Okay, so how will you write the characters? So characters, here I want to write. So character, basically you write char, give any variable name. So EFG I'll write here. Let's say for writing the character you need single quote. So wrap your character within the single quote. Let's say A I'm writing here and I want to print it. So south, and here I'll print my G. So here you will have your character. Compile it, then execute. Always remember, compile then execute. Otherwise you will see the previous code. So here look at this, age coming. But you cannot have ABC here. That will be a string, not a character. That will be a string, not a character. I'm just showing you how. Okay, so if I write here a string now, so if I write here, let's say, so for that purpose you have to use a string, which is as such capital in a string. Okay, as such capital in a string. So string you have to write, let's say name I want to write here somewhere. So the name who is writing most of the comment, which is Ayush. Okay, so now here I want to print the name of the Ayush here. South, I'll write here the name. Okay, here I'll just compile it, I'll execute it. Okay, as it's capital here always. So now look at this. Whenever you want a particular name or group of character, you will use this string. But this is not primitive, it's a non-primitive. Okay, you have to remember. Now what if I want to print the boolean thing, true or false? Okay, they take one bit space basically, 0 or 1 something. So 0 for false, 1 for true. Virtually be assuming this thing. So now here we'll write boolean. So I'll write boolean thing here, and I'll write the name. Let's say status is equals to, here you can give a true or false something. Okay, and I want to print it. So south, I'll put a status or something. Here you'll see when you will compile and you'll print it, you'll see that particular thing. Okay, you'll get it. So here look at this, we're getting true. By default it is false. So that also you need to remember, that what if I haven't given any value directly, the thing is it's saying like it's not initialized, so we have to initialize this. But anyway, by default it becomes the false. So I'll put the true. Perfect. I hope this is quite clear to everybody, right? So now we know that how to utilize all these variables. I'll go back again and we will continue with our lecture. Here another thing is typecasting. Okay, what is typecasting? Very, very important topic. Multiple times interviewer ask this. Multiple times they ask. So what is this typecasting? Typecasting is basically converting one data type to another, one data type to another, not to this to another. Okay. So if I ask you, you ask somebody that you have 10,000 rupee and you will have 5,000 rupee, he'll be happy or he'll be denying this thing? Or you say somebody you have 5,000 rupee and now you will have 10,000 rupee, who will be more happy? Tell me. Who will be more happy? Narrowing, widening, explicit, automatically. I'll tell you the meaning. Just give me the one answer here. If I ask you, you have 10,000 rupee, and you will have 5,000 rupee. So will you let me do this easily or you'll restrict it? Right. So converting a larger data type, like the data type which takes more memory to the data type which takes less memory, is narrowing, converting more to less. Narrowing, converting more to less. Understood now? Converting more data to the less data. Basically, if I want to convert long to int, narrowing, obviously, right? Because long contains 64-bit, int converts 32-bit. I have the chances of data loss. I can have that data loss, but that's why you have to tell your computer explicitly. Means by yourself, you have to tell the computer that okay, I know that data loss will happen, but I'm okay with this. Right? That's the explicit thing. But widening means converting smaller data to larger. You have no problem, right? Everybody having no problem. If somebody asks me, they can, like, if I have 5,000 rupee, they can give me 10,000. I'll be more happy. I'll say, okay, come on, give me. I'm okay. I'm fine, right? So converting lower data type or smaller data type to higher automatically happens. You don't have to do a lot of things. But for converting larger data type to smaller, narrowing will have explicit typecasting. Okay, so example here, if I put an example here, basically if I'm trying to convert long to int, and here we can say we are converting int to long, which is easily possible. You're getting my point? Right, you're getting my point. But how will you do this? That we will understand. We'll go to the BS code and here we'll see. We'll go to the BS code and here we will see. I'm just telling you, okay, basically the thing is, here I have another thing. Or I'll create another file, probably, by tomorrow I'll create a day one folder here, and somewhere I'll put this on GitHub or anywhere where you can have the code. But I don't think so you need a code as of now. You can take the screenshot, you can write by yourself for better practice. So let's say I'm writing here, somewhere I had long now. So long is D here, look at this. But what if I want to convert that D to an int? So int, I'm writing here till where we have UG. So I'll write H here and I want to write D. Okay, H is equals to D. It's telling me an error. Or telling type mismatch, cannot convert long to int. Why? You have to do explicit. Long is bigger thing. So here that's how in these parentheses you have to put int. So now computer knows that okay, you're okay with the data loss. You're okay with what? You're okay with the data loss. That is okay. If data loss happens, it happens. We can't do anything, helpless. Right. So in that case, it's an explicit. It's a narrowing. We call it narrowing or explicit. Okay, narrowing and explicit typecasting. Okay, and again, what if again I want to convert something? Let's say I have double and I call it IGH, let's say I equals to here, and I want to convert this int to double. It's easily possible. Why? Because converting is smaller to larger will not have a memory loss. So it's what? It's happening automatically. It's a widening typecasting. I hope everybody is clear now. Please tell me, is this clear to everybody? Help me out here, please. Is this clear to everybody? That what is this thing? Now another important topic, okay, another super important topic, that is how will you take the input. Always happens, I've seen the multiple people, I'm just telling you here, it's been a lot of years while I'm teaching or training, even worked as engineer. And that time I've seen that when people, sits in the online assessment, they don't know how to take the input. That is the problem they're having, right? So in Java you have multiple ways. One of the best ways is the scanner class. Right, today I'll teach you with the help of scanner class. Also you have reader file and other things, but anyhow, the scanner is important thing and most common. So here scanner is a class which is available in a util package. Okay, package is group of classes. Okay, so group of classes package, there is a scanner is available. I'll import it and I'll use it. I'll use it. But today, because you do not know a lot of things, just whatever you have to remember the syntax. We'll import a scanner class, we will create an object and then we will use it. Right now, importing a class, creating an object may sound difficult, but time will come when you'll say that this was super easy, yaar. This was super easy, right? You'll say this to me. Okay, Mahima. Okay, Ayush. Yeah, others also. I want the multiple comments. I want that you guys interacting. Huh? You guys interacting. You should believe like when Gaurav Bhaiya is teaching, you'll understand it. Huh? I want that level of trust on me. Okay. How to convert ASCII value. Time will come. Don't worry. Huh? Time will come when I'll tell you the multiple method to convert into the ASCII values. Okay. Time will come. Don't worry. So here right now what I want is that you just simply understand the basics today. In other lectures we will have lots of things. Okay. Just keep watching the lecture in a sequence. Perfect. So here we have scanner class. So you have to import scanner, create object, then start working. Now I'll tell you. Okay, we'll go to the BS code and there we will see how this works. Okay, we will see how this works. Here I'll create let's say user input. You can give any file name, but first letter should be capital. User input.java. I'm creating a file here, and here write public static void man, and I'm having this template. Okay, here what I need a scanner class, so I have to import it. What I need to import is scanner class, automatically imported on my top. You can import it if this is not coming. Always remember, whenever you want to use any library or any package, that will come always on the top. Okay, so scanner, give the object name whatever you want to give. So let's say SC I'm giving here. The new is a keyword which is used to create an object from a class. Time will come when you'll digest it, but right now you just have to hear it here. That's last option I have here. System.in. So basically what we are doing is that with the help of this thing, we're telling system to in some data. Okay, I'm just giving a very vague example or in a vague simplification, but this is the way you'll understand it. Okay, so here this thing is responsible by which you are taking this thing in. You remember system.out.println means system.out means for printing, for giving output. System.out. When system.in taking input, allowing user to take the input. You getting my point? That's what the system.in here. Now here if I want to take the integer, I will have multiple method. Okay, I will have multiple method here. If I want to take the integer input, so let's say I want to write here a, and I want to take an input from the user end. So write sc dot. That's what you have to do. Now multiple methods you have here. Okay, next int for integer value, again next for the string, only one word. Next line, entire paragraph. Next basically after a space, it will not take the input. Next line will take paragraphs of input. Okay, again here you have close for closing your this particular thing, this scanner class. Again here you have byte for taking the byte input, sort for sort input. So that will tell you in the same way. Okay, somewhere here I'll go next int. I want an integer input. That's it. You will have, I'll just give a message here. Okay, I'll just give a message, nothing more than that. Let's say I'll say enter a number, by which user will know that what user need to do. Okay, user will be knowing what he need to do, he or she need to do. Getting my point? So here the thing is, and now I'll take the input. So here I'm taking the input, I'm prompting my computer to take the input. Once this came, I'll just print it. Okay, south a. I'm just printing my a, my variable. I'll just like compile it. So Java C, the file name is what? User input dot Java. Then Java, look at this dot class file. The bytecode has been created, right? And because of this Bora principle works. right? Write once, run anywhere. So here Java and the file name was user input. That's it. Look at it's asking enter number. This is executed. This is waiting that you put the value. So let's say value I put it here. Let's say 12 or something. Now 12 is printed. You've taken an integer input value. You've taken an integer input value. Okay. So here, if I want, let's say I want a boolean value. How will I take? How will I take? So right here, like bool or something. Boolean here. Boolean. Here I want to write something. Let's say b equals to sc dot next boolean. Look at this thing for boolean value, and you will have your boolean value. South print your b. So that's how you'll take the boolean value also. But just give a message which user will know that what user need to do. Okay, so enter boolean value. I'm just giving a message which user will be aware that what he or she need to do. Otherwise, you won't have anything to see on the screen, right? And you'll be probably confused that how to execute this program. I have Java C user input. I've compiled it. Now I'll run it. It's asking for a number. I've entered 5. Look at 5 is printed. Then it's asking for the boolean value. This message is printed. It's waiting for the user input. Next, like system.in, give me an input. So here what I'll do, if I give something else now, I will have error, and I have to give true or false something. I've given here true, and true will be printed. That's how you take the boolean values. Making Mahma make sense to you? Ayush, make sense? Harsa, everybody, tell me, is it making sense to everybody? Right, so that's how you can take the byte sort. After next you put the thing. This is one important difference I want to tell you here. Let's say I'm just giving a message, enter your name. Okay, here I've given a message and I want to take my name as input. Then what I'll do now, I'll write here string, and here I'll write name equals to sc dot next. That's for the string input, but I'll tell you why you should use the other thing. Okay, and here I'll write south. Here I'll write my name. Okay, now see this. When I execute this now, I'll write here this thing. I'll write enter number. I'll put enter boolean value. I'll put. Now it's asking for my name, so I'll write Gaurav Pandey. Gaurav Pandey, my name. Now the thing is, what eventually will happen? You're seeing Gaurav only. Why? Because after this space, this broken out, right? It's converting. No, H is more and D is low. Yeah, you know, anyhow from the previous thing. Okay, I guess you're running behind Harsa, but the thing is, here you joined late, maybe that's why you're somewhere else. But the thing is, if that is the case now, if how you know, you'll check the above code, right? You definitely must know from the declaration itself. In the last in the data, I guess somewhere I have created that particular thing. Here you know how, because you see this D on the top. D was long. That's why you know. Otherwise, whenever you're converting now, you'll see the error there. It will automatically mention. Okay, I'll come back again to my place. Here the thing is, I'm just getting my first name because after space I cannot take. Then what is the solution? The solution is the next line. Now if I run this what will happen? I've compiled and I'll execute it. It's asking a number. I'll put a number. It's asking for something. I'll put false something. Oh, yeah, that consumed an extra space. This thing, and automatically without putting anything, this boolean takes an extra line, and it automatically took. A problem happened for me, but anyway, for just garbage value, put it here. Solve this level of issue. That what happens is now when the next boolean, they wait for the another level of input, and when they do not get, they just consume it automatically. And I hated something. But anyway, I'll just show you again what is happening here. Okay, so what is happening when I run this now? I'm putting a number. I'm putting a boolean value. Let's say false. When I hit the enter now, it automatically consumed because this boolean was waiting for an input. Okay, that consumed an extra input. Oh, that's really I don't want. So what I will do is now here for taking a new line, why we just will not take my thing. Here you put randomly sc dot next. Just consume an extra space just after from the boolean, and now what eventually will happen after this? When you hit the enter, that will be consumed by it, and this is free to use. Okay, this is free to use. So now if I compile this again and I run this again, then this will work fine. Enter number 5. Enter boolean value. Let's say I've entered false. Look at this. After false, this is for this, and hit the it printed, but yeah, suddenly there is a problem. What is the problem here? Hello. Somewhere I have written this thing not correct. This is not executing properly. that is my problem. Oh, this is the thing. Now, here it's a consuming an extra line. That is my problem. So eventually, what I will do now, I'll just consume that extra input. Okay, I'll just consume that extra input, and then I'll assign with my name. Okay, I'll assign my name. So here basically at the place of this thing, I'll consume this, and on the top also I can put to show you that how this works. I guess that will solve my problem anyway. So I'll remove from here. That's happening because of this thing, this next boolean. I'll remove this thing. On the top I'll put somewhere. Okay, you'll directly understood this, and rest of the thing I'll make the comment. Now this works. So now here, because that, am I not asking for something? Oh, I haven't asked any message to it. But anyway, I'll write Gaurav Pandey, but that will come now. Okay, that will come now. I haven't asked for any message. That's the thing, I was not getting any message here. But I'll ask a message. I'll ask a message here. Let's say South. Okay. I'll ask enter your name. Okay, so here what will happen eventually, now it will ask me for my name, what are the instructions I want to give. Look at it, it's asking me, and I'll write Gaurav Pandey here. Now this is coming, right? This is coming. Perfect. Now this was happening, but this also that also we can fix here somewhere like this. What I'll do is now I'll just copy this thing again from here, because some people can be confused. Sir, previously was not working, now this is working. How? I'll just show you why that was happening. Here, look at this. I've done this now. It's asking for boolean, then I'll ask for my name, and I'll print it. So now here I'll go back. I'll compile it again. I'll ask, it's asking for number, ask for false or true any value, insert it, but name is not coming here. Okay, this is happening because of that particular thing. The boolean was waiting for an input and it does not get, and that's why it was automatically, terminated. So now here I'll do this thing. It's asking for number, enter 5, false something. Oh, false. Okay, I'll force here. We write next line instead next to consume. Correct. So here 5, I'll put false, and now the thing is this is consuming the extra line, but here this is making again a problem. Storing it now somewhere, that is the problem. Either we close it again and we start it again, that will be the another solution. So if I write something here now, look at this is not letting me do anything. So let's say hi, but here eventually when we leave this now, that automatically executes. Another solution I have, I can give some space here. That's the last solution I'm having as of now. I put false, then I will have some space, and now I can pass my name, Gaurav, G-A-U-R-A-B, Gaurav Pandey. Now look, it's coming, but that is consumed by the previous one. Okay, that was consumed by the previous one. So what else I can do? I can consuming at this place, I can consume it here. Yeah, this boolean is making problem in this example. So always remember to avoid this scenario, always try to avoid this scenario. Otherwise close that scanner and start it again. That can be the another solution. So enter number 5, I'll put a false something here, enter your name, it's asking me. So I'll ask, let's say some space, then it's a Gaurav and Pandey. So Pandey is coming, the reason is because that was consumed by it. Something else I want here, something else to avoid this scenario. The another solution that I close it and I start it again. I do close, but I guess you understood now. I hope so. Right, why this is happening? So you have to consume that extra input. Okay, you have to consume that extra input. That is the problem. This extra input, right? Because of this boolean. Perfect here, making sense, I hope. Right. Otherwise, avoid this scenario and put it on the top, or close this scan and create your object again and start working. That will be the solution. That can also be scenario. Here you write a next line at the place of this. This also works. So here I do this thing, I'll write enter, but just to tell you the another scenario, nothing more than that. Okay, I'll write Gaurav Pandey here. So look at this is coming fine, right? So basically this is consuming that extra input which is asking for this thing. Okay, So this is also one of the good way, to consume that extra input. Okay, cool, yeah, cool, yeah. Now this is making sense to everybody. Now here the next thing, comments. Okay, so comment, we know that we have two type of comment. Basically this is the code which will not be read by the computer. So that is the comment, So here comment, we did this is single line comment, and we have the multi-line comment also. Single line comment. Okay, also we have the multiple line comments. So this thing as a star and close it. So whatever you write now, multiple lines you can cover within this. I'm just showing an example how this works. Okay, how this works. Somewhere here, this is multiple line comment. Okay, so look at this. All the code that I wanted to comment is commented now. Look at this. All of this code is commented. So when you want to put multiple lines in comment, do this thing. Slash, asterisk, then again asterisk and slash. That's it. That's a multiple line comment. Now I have few MCQs for you and I want you to answer. Which of the following is not the part of Java platform? Who will help me here? Interact here. Now utilize the entire lecture's knowledge. Tell me, which of the following is not the part of Java platform? JDK was the part, JVM was the part, JRE was the part. This is the culprit. This is not the part of the Java platform, right? Again, what will be the output of the following? So we have 10, 5. What we are doing is that, okay, operators haven't taught you so far, but basically what it does, it will give you remainder. Okay, this thing modulus will give you the remainder. So 10 modulus 5, 10 is divided by 5 completely, so you will have 0. What you will have? You will have 0. Else you can have a plus b, means adding both of them. Okay, so this will be 0. Making sense? Another thing. Which of these is a valid variable declaration in Java? Is this valid? Having a first, like starting as number, is it valid? Say me, no, right? Question number 3, that's how I won't understand. I won't understand. Tell me the question number and answer, then I'll understand. Question number along with the answer. Only then I'll understand. How would I know which answer you're telling? Right, so here third number, which is a valid variable, this is not. Again here, what we're doing is that somewhere, look at this, character, double quote, no, that's a string B. Again here, bool, this is not available, this is incorrect. So which correct? This is correct. 4a, people are saying 4a, scanner, correct, very nice. Which Java keyword is used to take the input? Very nice. Again, which of the following is not a primitive type in Java? Which is not primitive? Tell me last. 5c, everybody, very nice, Ayush, very nice. Now I have few important questions for you guys that you will think about. Okay, that what is the difference between JDK, JRE and JVM? Multiple times people ask. Again, why Java called platform independent? Remember the concept of JVM, okay, and figure out. If you have forget, like reverse back the video, watch it again, you'll understand it. Again, what are data types in Java? Explain with examples. Somebody can ask you to do the practical, especially for the on-campus hirings. Write a Java program to take input, name, age from the user and print welcome message. Right? How we will do this? That's your job to do. Okay, probably I'll expect the answer in the chats. I will expect the answers in the chat. Okay, I'll expect the answers. Again, what is typecasting in Java? That you have to tell me. Okay, and again, what is implicit and explicit? These are the 5 common questions that we can conclude from these topics. But anyhow, at the end of this series, after 7 days, I'll give you a cheat sheet. Okay, all the important questions. Sir, for float, we should add f. That here, very good here, very good. We should have, like here the valid variable name we were asking, but you're very right, we should add f. Okay, but valid variable declaration is this only, but valid f was pending. Very good, there is a problem. 1.5 f we should have, then that will be the correct. Very nice. Who was he? A faithful soul. Yeah, I don't know your actual name, but anyway, you can tell me your actual name, probably I'll remember. But now the next thing is, after this, what? Yeah, again for practicing you can visit the prevensta.com for free for practicing in Java, for solving your DS and something. So that's a free, not paid thing. So go here, 150 not out. Search for this thing, not out Prevensta. You will have multiple practice questions. Try to implement them. These are part of the DSA, but anyway, this is a part of the DSA, but this is super important, super required for cracking any coding interview. So go there, find the questions, do start solving, right? Again, also, I guess for DSA purpose especially, huh? For DSA purpose, there was a series was running by Babab Sukla. Go there, check out that series on the YouTube, right? For DSA purpose. Also, I have run the lead code series for practicing in Java. We were doing the code. Okay, these things will help you to crack the coding interviews on multiple things. Again, those people want that they want a dedicated course for upskilling or something, so then you can refer the Prevensta Prime. Prevensta Prime. So you will have 200 plus courses. In every course, what you will have is that once you complete the course, you will have a certificate that will be valuable for your, let's say in the placement, you can display somebody that I've done this particular skills. Somebody want to learn full stack, somebody want to learn let's say DSA, somebody want to learn a mobile development, something. So you will have these courses here. Okay, perfect here, perfect here. So go there, visit all these things. Again, one important thing and the last thing I want to tell everybody. Yeah, you'll search for the placement operation. Even I'm running that particular cohort and run by the Career 247 the Prepensta. Placement operation. Those people are thinking that placement is very near. I want to crack the placement at any cost. I want to learn everything about it. So you can search placement operations. You'll find that cohort. Join it for the personalized training. Search placement operation. You will get it. Otherwise, try to reach out to the Prepensta team. They will tell you what is the placement operation. Okay, if you're not getting directly link from anywhere. But this will be super helpful for your placements. Here you will have entire 2 months of curriculum. We're completely focused on the placement, including DSA, verbal aptitude, and all the other necessary components which are required for the placement. Okay, all other videos will come maybe as a recorded format, if not live. But I want that you people put the comment on all upcoming videos. If you have doubt, you want to discuss something, you want to ask something, put in the comment. Before recording or coming live, I'll take all those doubts and then I'll address in the lecture. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, before I leave, I want to hear one thing. Are we good to go? Did you really enjoy this particular thing? Did you enjoy this particular lecture? How was it? Tell me. How was it? Was it energetic? Was it informative? Right? Do you feel that you learned something? Sukla DSA YouTube class I can't find. Go to the Prepensta, you'll find there. I'm just showing you. Go here. On YouTube itself, I'll search YouTube here, and here in YouTube now, go here and search for the Prepensta. Prepensta. Okay, here Prepensta you'll get somewhere channel, and here you will find the DSA series. Go to the playlist and you will have DSA. Look at this. Here somewhere you'll have the DSA series. Look at the master DSA for free. Look at this. You have this particular thing. You can have this thing. Okay. Anyhow, he come live often. Thank you, Mahima. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Vandana. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Ayush. Thank you, Minute Mind. But yeah, what I want is I want the placement. I want to hear this thing. And those who want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on the LinkedIn. Search Gaurav Pandey Mentor, you'll find my profile. Okay, and I want to hear once you get the placement. I really feel very happy when people get the placement. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you Mama again, and thank you everybody else for watching this entire video, this entire 1.5 hours probably live. Right, bye bye to all. See you in the next lecture or probably in the video. But really what I want is the true hard work that you will put, and then say yes, you achieved your goal, right? You achieved your placement. That's what I want to hear. Desperately I want to hear. Make a commitment that within these 7 days you'll put everything. You'll put every your effort, right? And after these 7 days you will have complete Java understanding. There shouldn't be any single question that you can't answer. Then wrapping up, bye bye to all. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye to all. Bye bye to all. Monica, I'm not sure for again tomorrow, but the series will come maybe from Monday or maybe by tomorrow. But that team will post or team will tell. Okay, the team will tell. I'm not sure, but maybe there's a possibility. Yeah, you put the comments. You put the comments for the courses. If comments will be really, multiple comments will be there, then I'll request the team to allow me to, cover the other courses as well. Put the multiple comment, but not in live chat directly here, but in the normal chat also. Normal chats actually, they are available after the video, after this live. So that will be helpful for the team to figure out the data that which you're asking for. Okay, and they really want to help you. So that will not be a problem. Anything anybody want to ask, or we can wrap? Anything if SQL, if you want SQL course, na, everybody put the comment after the video, after this live. Thank you, Prasant. Thank you so much. Sure, but after this, in the normal video, put the SQL, then probably we can come. I also want to do Bandhana web development, but the thing is, na, multiple things are running in parallel. So I want that how many percentage of audience want to do that particular thing. If the number will be really higher, then management will say to me that go ahead on this particular thing. Okay. Bye-bye to all. Bye-bye to all. Take care. Have a good day ahead. Wrapping up, wrapping up. But do not forget to like this live lecture or video, whatever you're watching, if you really enjoyed it here. And put the comment whatever you feel about it. Put the comment. I'll be really happy after seeing all these things.